Okay, so Mario Golf. Should we talk about Mario Golf? Okay. First things first. Let's think of the color wheel. In the color wheel, you got these colors at the top. I'm not looking at them now. I'm trying to sort of memorize them. I think the top, imagine you've got like reddish tones at the top, and then bluish tones at the bottom. If that's how we place the wheel, then I'm imagining that side to side of the wheel, we will have the other stuff yellow, green. Green will approach blue, yellow will approach red, purple, and so on. Surely that's got to be close to blue. Where is that? While recording the video, is this fun? He. No, okay. While recording the video, I found this other color wheel, which places. It suggests, in fact, that green is opposite to red, and that, yeah, indeed, yellow is opposite to purple, but that blue is opposite to orange. That's pretty interesting as well, because, of course, we've got green would be opposite to red in the sense that Mario and Luigi are brothers. But then orange is more of the color of Bowser, and I think Donkey Kong too, in a slight sort of way. I mean, the brown tones of Donkey Kong would be more in that area of the color wheel, like orange, dark orange kind of area. Dark orange to red, but somewhere there you would find Donkey Kong's color. I think then that Donkey Kong and Bowser sort of rest in a similar kind of place, and they're at the back of the picture here as the orangey tones. Orangey then being precisely, it seems like it's a tone that's right next to Mario. It's right next to red. It's as if here Mario's villains are not those who are opposite to him, but those who are almost him. The villains in the image who are closer to the back, so to speak, have the color that's actually the closest to red in the wheel. Then the ones that are in the middle of the image, Peach and Wario, have the colors that are close to red, but not so close, a little more far away, and more sort of towards the side and side of red, creating more of an identity difference, right? Purple and yellow are much more, their identity is much more defined from red, whereas the orange and brown are much closer to red. It's as if Mario is fighting something very close to home, very close to him, that's part of his shadow, so to speak. And then Wario and Peach are. Wario is not fully a villain, right? Wario is more just like a cackling uh, sideline person who's contrary to Mario, but not really presented as a full-blown villain ever since his introduction, right? Ever since he's introduced into the series, he never really becomes, again, a full-blown villain. He's just like a version of Mario that's different from Mario. So it's like, yeah, him and Peach, I think, are people who are not directly related to Mario, as in, Wario might be directly related to Mario in family terms. I'm not entirely sure what the story is there, but in terms of the franchise, Wario is not like a deep presence within the Mario games. Wario is his own thing, right? His own franchise. Whereas Yoshi and Luigi definitely partake of the Mario franchise and of like family ties in some way. Anyway, and then again, right? Yoshi and Luigi are green, so they are once again even more far away from Mario, even more far away from the color red. So in some way, even more opposite to Mario. It almost seems as if the more opposite people become to Mario in terms of the color wheel, the closer they are to him in terms of friendship, of getting along well, and the closer they are to him in the color wheel as red. So when they're brown or orange, they seem to represent deeper sort of villains. So Donkey Kong and Bowser, right? And then there's this sort of strange, like, sweet spot in the middle of pink and yellow that seem to signify something different, that's neither a really, really close person or a really, really distant person. Like, Peach is not very, very close to Mario. In fact, she's very often estranged from Mario, right? Has been kidnapped in some way. Or it seems to be the relationship between Mario and Peach is always sort of slightly distant. It's something that's not fully homey and personal. It's a little bit idealistic. And the relationship between Mario and Wario is also sort of distant. They barely interact, apart from Super Mario Land 2. They interact in the golf games and the sports games, but I mean, they don't interact in the way Mario interacts with Bowser, for example. Wario is not someone who's deeply inside of Mario's life, so to speak. So yeah. Purple must be in between blue and red somewhere. I'm not sure now where purple rests. But I remember, this I do remember, purple and pink were opposite to yellow. So that's interesting. Yellow and purple create like a pair of opposites. Blue and red create another pair of opposites. And of course, blue and red are Mario's colors, but pink and yellow are Wario's colors. So they both are color opposite people. But also they are opposite to each other in some way. So what I mean is, in the actual color wheel, they seem to be placed opposite to one another. Not opposite as in maybe adjacent, perhaps. Adjacent to one another. Okay, so if the left side of the image is Boo, this is a new audio file, by the way. I'm just breaking in. But if the Boo is something to do with invisibility, and the right side of the image seems to have something to do with visibility, it's the camera that's being shot, that's shooting the image, then first of all, it's acquainted with the left side of the image. The left side of the image is acquainted with Boo's, because Luigi ends up being someone who's associated with Boo's in some way, who's associated with fear and with ghosts anyway. So that whole left side has that character to it. And also the left side of the image has something to do more with family, perhaps. We have a series of relationships that, well, not exactly, because the right side of the image has the baby as well, and it also has Wario, who's potentially family. Maybe that's not the issue here. Okay. The